Andy Tait-Jamieson grew up on a small Waikato dairy farm and, after his OE with partner Sophie Sears, fell in love with the coastal Hawke's Bay settlement of Waimarama. They bought a local property where there was an opportunity for him to get back into farming, leasing a neighbouring farm in a handshake deal that has lasted 20 years. He was surprised to learn how much farming had changed, which contributed to his decision to farm organically.
I'd been out of the scene for 10 years, and I realised then that the farming that I had sort of learnt as a kid was quite organic, really. It wasn't an intensive system. We had 90 cows on 90 acres. It was a cow to an acre back then. Very little fertiliser was flown on, very few remedies, cattle remedy, cow remedies. There was a bit of penicillin being used, but that was kind of, it was an event if a cow had to be treated with mastitis, for mastitis, with penicillin. So that was sort of what I knew, and I got a bit of a fright when I started reading the farming papers and kind of saw how intensive would become and what the level of inputs were and the stocking rate requirements to actually make a go of it. And especially given the fact I didn't know anything about sheep or beef at the time. So it was quite a steep learning curve, and I put in there the organic system that Sophie and I were both interested in, and it was an opportunity to have a go.
When it came to selling his produce, he again swam against the tide, selling it himself.
The first thing we ever did was offer a lamb in a box. Lamb's a convenient package. It breaks down into a box that big. You can find a butcher who will cut it. You can find an abattoir that will kill it. It wasn't very hard to do that, and we gave that a go. And that was reasonably successful. There was some demand. You put an ad in the back of the listener in those days. And that was all we did, and drop an ad into Hawke's Bay Today and the phone rings. To start off, we were sort of getting through half a dozen, 8 lambs a fortnight or something. It was just quite nice. People were, you'd get good feedback about it. People loved it. They liked the fact that it was organic. It was just a bit more satisfying, I guess. I started to just pick up the phone and ring a few shops around the place. Notably, Common Sense Organics in Wellington was one of the first shops I ever rang, and they were just super keen. Yeah, everything was, when I look back, everything was done just on a phone call. I would ring up, "G'day, Andy Tait-Jamieson here, I'm an organic farmer in Hawke's Bay, I've got some meat, do you want to buy it?" And you'd send them a box, and that was it. Most of these people I never actually shook hands with for a number of years. Some of them I still haven't.
Sales continued to climb and he went into beef, moved to a bigger butchery and then built his own butchery in Hastings.
Matt Aries is my business partner now. Him and his brother bought into the business. Our lease expired where we were, and Matt and I together built the current shop that we're at. That's a great facility there. We were able to design and build that to our own specification, and now we've got, 4 staff there. Matt's pretty much full-time managing the business, and I'm in charge of supply.
It retails online, but is mainly a wholesale supplier to organic outlets nationwide. He says for now, profit lies in how his meat is grown, not the price it achieves.
We really don't have a premium. There's really no such thing as an organic premium. The premium from farming organically comes from the less inputs and less stress that you have within the farming system. I think regenerative agriculture is finding that too. I think there's a buzz around regenerative at the moment, and while they aren't different systems, it's just that regenerative has become a term that you talk about what you do on the farm. Organics or certified organics is more about a classification of the product you produce. The two systems are very similar. Well, certainly in later times, all the systems that regenerative applies now have certainly within my time in the organic industry have been applicable.
Is regenerative going to catch on?
I bloody hope so. Yeah, I think it'd be great. It'd be great for New Zealand agriculture if it did. It's always been my argument that New Zealand has always been in a fantastic situation to just say to the rest of the world, this is how we do it, do you want it or not? We didn't do that. We sort of let different markets dictate to us what they wanted us to do, which sort of suited our conventional agriculture of the time, and now I think that's caught up with us a bit. I don't think it's too late to do that, and I think if we can get a broadening of that regenerative practice and then sort out actually how you write that down and what you can go to the world and say, here it is, this is how we do it. It's incredibly carbon efficient, it's an incredibly good product, it's all past, we all know about pasture raised, that's already a marketing term anyway. So this is it. The dairy industry would have to sort itself out a bit because, yeah, that's another story.
Patrick O'Sullivan for Bay Buzz.